Hey, folks! Welcome back. Today we're digging into the Game Boy Color's past with Game & Watch Gallery 2. Yes, I know, you're thinking, really? But wait a minute, because yes, it's one of those titles that makes you say, why does it exist? Grab your popcorn, and let's see together why this game is a bit like a dive into nostalgia, but with a few slaps in the face. Let's get started. So, Game & Watch Gallery 2 is a collection of 5 classic Game & Watch games. You know, those little electronic things from the 80s that Nintendo used to bring out before churning out masterpieces like Super Mario Bros. And Zelda. The concept behind it is simple. Take these games with monotonous and outdated gameplay, package them in an adorable Game Boy Color cartridge, and voila, here's a product you didn't know you didn't want. The games included are Parachute, Helmet, Chef, Vermin, and Donkey Kong. Now, get this, not only can you play the original versions in glorious black and white, but there's also the option to experience the modern versions with more detailed graphics and characters from the Mario universe. And you know what? This is where the game pulls off something decent, but let's start with order.
First of all, we must recognize one thing. For fans of retro gaming, Game & Watch Gallery 2 offers a perfect window into those times when graphics were, well, how can I put this nicely? Spartan. If you're someone who adores these prehistoric relics, this game does the job, and I have to admit that the care with which they restored the original games is commendable. The modern version of the games, featuring the characters of Mario, Yoshi, and Toad, are surprisingly cute and add some pizzazz to the otherwise dull gameplay. And then there's the soundtrack. It's not that it's epic or anything like that, but it has that typical Nintendo vibe, happy, carefree, almost as if it's saying, don't take this game too seriously. There is a certain coherence in all this. Oh, and let's not forget that you can unlock bonus games. Yep, Ball is available if you score enough points, and Flagman is there too. It's not much, but at least it gives you a reason to keep playing beyond your tolerance threshold.
But now let's get to the meat of the matter, the flaws. Oh, there are. Where to start? Well, first of all, the gameplay is repetitive. But with a repetitiveness that makes you want to turn off the Game Boy and take a walk down the street, even in the rain. The games are extremely simple. Move a character left or right, jump to avoid obstacles, collect stuff, that's it. And you know what? Even in the modern versions, which desperately try to liven things up, the fun lasts about as long as a fart in the wind. The original versions of the games are truly a test of patience. Yes, I get it, it's pure nostalgia, but who the hell has time for such slow, boring games these days? I mean, I understand the old school appeal, but after 5 minutes of Parachute you start to wonder if the guy who programmed the game was trying to punish you for something. And then, the graphics section of the modern versions. Sure, it's prettier to look at, but guys, let's be serious. These are games that could have been made by a child armed with paint on Windows 95. It seems like they put in as little effort as possible to keep people from falling asleep playing them. Oh, and let's not forget the biggest flaw of all, the game isn't for everyone. If you're not a die-hard fan of these old games, you might find it deadly boring. There are other Game Boy Color titles worth playing. Like Pokemon, The Legend of Zelda, whatever. Seriously.
So, what did we learn today? Game & Watch Gallery 2 is a little gem for those who love hardcore nostalgia, but if you're not really a fan of these prehistoric titles, stay away. Sure, Nintendo did their best to make these games bearable, but at the end of the day, these are games made for another era, and boy, does it feel. Well, folks, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this dive into the prehistory of video games, leave a like, and if you want to see more videos about strange and forgotten titles, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you think today's games are boring, try Game & Watch Gallery 2. And then we'll talk about it again.